What is up, team? Welcome back to the Huddle, the number one podcast in flooring. We're here every week to help you guys gain forward progress in your career. Simply put, we're here to help you guys win. For all our new viewers, welcome to the team. What's up, fellas?
What's
What's
going on,
going
brother?
on?
Oh, just a little bit of trying to get some work and then get it done and the
And then
daily
do it all over again?
activities. Yeah, every day it's like we need to go get some work. Let's get some work. Okay, now we got to get that work done. Okay, get that work done. We need more work. It's like
You
it's
find all the empty spots and just try to fill it, and then you end up finding too much. And well, yeah, I got that for you, but can you do this next week for me?
hmm So yeah, just doing the daily grind of the flooring industry and working on trade tap and the VTI and our training hubs. If you guys haven't seen, make sure to go get your VTI and get signed up for NAFCT course. Um, you can take those online courses anytime. So let's get that going at least, folks. Give me a holler if you have any problems, but we trust you'll get to it swimmingly. Today's sponsors is Pro Installer Magazine. Check it out. Like if you're wanting to stay somewhat involved or informed about the industry from an installation perspective, Pro Installer Magazine is the best place to go. Go check them out. We'll kick up a QR code here in a minute and click on that thing and go check out Pro Installer Magazine and give them a shout out when you're in there and let them know. Reach out to those guys and let them know you see them here on the Huddle. The other sponsor today is Trade Tap. We are pushing forward with a lot of our initiatives. We have 8 different college programs in action at the moment, and placing multiple others. Got great opportunities for placing uh, the VTI and the training hub that all feeds the feeds Trade Taps network and accreditations. Um, there's 8 current, 2 more coming on board, and then we are working with a career center in Ohio to bring on about 40-ish career centers to upskill and teach people in the flooring industry. They'll go on to Jumpstart, and you guys can hire them right off of Jumpstart. So stay tuned. We'll be launching Jumpstart soon to make all those hiring of these new students, new people to the flooring industry. Go snag them up and let's get them to work. All right. Well, today's topic fits right into our intros here, but the topic is the industry too comfortable? Uh, just a little framework. I think that as the boys and I were talking here before, there's 2 sides. You got the installation industry portion of the industry, and you have manufacturer, dealer, distributors, kind of like the product side. Um, Often those overlap, but they are 2 distinct sides. So we might explore both in this conversation and see what everybody thinks. So make sure to get on. If you're catching us on YouTube, leave us a comment, leave us a like, give us a subscribe on there. Same with our social channels. Go follow us on Facebook. In particular, this is where we go live. We go live multiple places, but Facebook's a great place to catch the show. So get on there and give us a follow so you're up to date every time we launch the huddle. So, guys, is the industry too comfortable? And which side we starting with?
I think
Well,
we start with the installer side.
there you go.
The installation side. All right, Jose, kick us off.
So, from the installation side, let's just start like obviously where we started, right? We were employees and I was a 1099, then W-2. Uh, from then until now, before used to be where there wasn't enough work out there for everyone, right? There wasn't enough lucrative work out there for everyone, and everyone. There was more people back when I started that wanted to learn a trade than there is now. It seems like, and that might just be me. Maybe I have, a biased view on that, but I would say I'm going to blame it right on COVID. Once COVID hit, people got the freebie money. There was an inflation of value, even if the skills were minimal. That kind of took over, and I think that people are getting too comfortable asking for more than what they can provide to an industry. Not just flooring. I'm saying to an industry, like if they want to go in a certain type of work, if day one people want to make,
So you're talking the entire labor industry, not just
yeah,
flooring.
and this is it's starting with flooring, right? But I know it's not just an epidemic here, right? In our industry, I know it's worldwide, and it's not one industry or another. I just think that there is a misconception on what an individual can produce with zero to no knowledge or very little education for a company who has kind of set their planted their roots um, in their network, planted their roots in their local area. Um, you
Well,
know,
across industries, like regardless of industry, I think there's this, you know, COVID created, you said inflation. It also created an entitlement
there
epidemic,
we
I
go.
think.
Yeah, yeah.
I watched, I was watching a reel earlier today of this gal talking about how much she appreciates or, requires rather working from home, and that working in her company, having to work from home, that she can walk away from the work at any time and kind of gather her thoughts and her all this. I mean, she went on forever, and she got let go on that call. Like she got an email that she was being let go, that they're reducing their at-home workforce, and she was livid that that would happen, and that. But one of the commentators of that reel was like, "Look, if you're not in the office, like that's a privilege. It's not. Companies don't have to." Um, let you work from home. And so I think it caused a little bit of a this idea that we're owed something without the effort. It's never worked that way in human history, and a lot of this new age kind of thought process that I work for the company, so the company owes me everything, is outside of how life works. I mean, before there were companies to give you food and stuff, you had to go work your land and your
Right.
your 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 herds to create your clothing and your food. You didn't
And,
sit on your wooden couch and say, the land is to provide for me without me working the land or something. I mean,
right.
throughout
I need someone else to do
history,
that.
we've
And
we've we've had to earn what we eat. We've had to earn what we clothe ourselves with, or our comforts. Um, so yeah, I think there
yeah,
a little bit of an entitlement thing came along, and it's been getting crushed over the last year or two, and we'll see where it all goes. I think when we start talking about the topic, is the industry too comfortable, and we're talking about installers. Somebody said this, and it may have been Ben with Trade Tap that said it, and I think it was. It said, we skipped a couple of generations in training and presenting our industry as a craft, as a real industry to be in, as opposed to just a job to have.
right.
And that training has skipped a couple of generations, so you have a large kind of cohort of installers these days that are undertrained. I I can tell you from our network count, versus the ranking on the network. It is undertrained. If any other industry had the numbers that we have, um, when they have that, like you don't have it in other professional industries. Like if electricians, if 78% plus of them were unlicensed,
Yeah, yeah, that would be a problem.
you know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like, and
and
you don't
that's
just get the license given to you. You got to go through education. And I've talked to guys that have done that. We've had a couple guys on this podcast, even from the electrical world. Same with plumbing. Same with HVAC techs. Getting a license to do what you're doing, what you're installing or providing a service for. Um, it kind of went away in flooring, and then there was a void of a resource or a way to actually credentialize and be able to have any accurate metrics on your industry. And another plug for TradeTap, that's the whole reason it exists, is to add credentialing and cataloging of installer capabilities and qualifications, and then allow that to be exposed and to the point that the installer wants it to be. Just a side note, the installer's profiles are not a Googleable, if that's a word. Googleable,
yeah,
is that okay?
Googleable.
it is
Googleable.
now.
It's not a Googleable thing. It's not as though you can go on and Google it and go on and see their profiles. They have to share it.
So what you
They're in
just said,
control of their profiles, but when they want to set themselves apart, they can show their profile and get set apart from your common everyday guy that really is not taking this very seriously.
so what you just said actually really does draw it back specifically to our industry as far as the comfort thing. You know, in a world where credentials aren't required to show, and you got to take someone on their word or their ability, right? The value from them is what they show you. If we can't provide documentation on what we've done, what we're doing, what we've educated ourselves on, then it's just our word, right? And I like the idea that we still live in a world where, our word and a handshake is good enough. But unfortunately, uh, it's not anymore. And that
Well,
sucks to
and
say like that, um, but
but
that's where the entitlement and then are we getting too comfortable, right? Like,
well, I was going to just say that the word in your handshake go. That's a deep kind of well,
yeah,
because like you're being trustworthy, as we were talking about in last week's podcast, or being, which leads to respect. But that handshake indicated that you stood behind what you're saying, and you have to have the true credentialing to stand behind. Like, you see what I'm saying?
oh yeah,
It's very hollow to stand behind your word and do what you say you're going to do if you do not have the skill level required to do it.
correct, correct, and that's where I was going. That's the comfort thing is knowing that you can say this is what I know and shake someone's hand, and then say, you know what, this ain't working for me. I'm going somewhere else, and then go shake someone else's hand and give them the same line, and then always put blame on everybody else. Well, they didn't like my stuff, so I'm going somewhere else. They didn't appreciate me. I'm going somewhere else. Um, and for me to say that I've never been in that position myself, I'd be lying, right? But
Well, and that's
I've,
okay though. Like, even that attitude's okay to like go somewhere else if you have the skill and
yes,
ability
yes,
to go somewhere else. I mean, we all built our companies, our this group, all three of us built what we have through having the courage to go out and stick your neck out and put your money at risk, put your time at risk, and your reputation at risk to go
yeah,
start something. And then
yes,
to hire other people to help you on that journey. But if you have the skill and ability and you have the risk profile to go out and do your own thing. I had one of my best installers this last month, let us know that he wants to sub. We're not stopping him. We're going to help him be the best subcontractor he can be. Got him in touch with accountant. Got him in touch with our an insurance company that we've dealt with over the years, and we're trying to help him be as successful as possible. But and we've got one of our installers that was really good that's actually competing with us now. I mean, they're out in the marketplace, like actively getting some jobs, and I, who am I to like? I hear it all the time from retailers and dealers, like create my own competition. Okay, but just get better. If you haven't been in this long enough if you haven't created some competition, or
So,
like,
so like in the process of creating your own competition, right? You're still helping create a better business for yourself, right? If you're not trying to create a better business for yourself, you're not unintentionally creating competition anyway. You want them to get better. You want everyone to get better. That isn't that the goal?
well, and much rather a highly trained good guy go out and compete against me than a someone who's like Chuck in a truck, because at least I know the guy that's trained and you know like educated on the industry knows what they're worth, to an extent, has a better idea of what they're worth, and will not go out underbidding everybody just to get the jobs, right? There's this swagger to people who are educated and trained and certified, that they know what they're worth, and they're not going to take work for like pennies on the dollar just to make a retailer or a dealer happy. Coincidentally, that's also what scares the retailers and dealers the most is a confident, you know, um, I would say a confident and educated installer. So you want to buck the system. If you're listening to this and you're an installer, you want to buck the system, get credentialed, get certified, get trained. That you are one of the few. You want to be in the top 1%, the top 20% for sure. Go get two certifications. Take two training classes, real training classes. You'll be in the top 2% or 20% of all installers in the nation just by doing that, and then going applying the skill you learned and going back, getting a little more training to hone that skill in, and not like, if you want to be a rebel, be the best, because there's very few installers out there. Most of them are there's a lot of hobbyists, what I would call guys who do it, you know, without the training, without the knowledge, but know just enough to be able to get a floor down. And but they're not professionals. They don't
Right.
treat the job as a profession.
That's what on Instagram. That's what Mario says. He says, "Floor God, hey, I'm that Chuck in a truck."
You know what? Another thing, real quick to interrupt. I saw on social media on Facebook, I was scrolling, or maybe it was Instagram, I don't know. One of the videos where a guy was doing residential, he was serpentining a Berber, and there was hundreds of comments on it, right? And and maybe I'm wrong. Maybe there's a product out there that I don't know about that you can just cut across those rows right into the Berber devil cut, and I don't know. But everybody's like giving them information. Some people ripping on them. Some people saying, "Hey, looks good," but being comfortable, not understanding the ramifications of improperly installing a product because no one ever holds you accountable. That's another thing too. And
Well, I mean,
cool.
we've been there, back in the day when we're doing stuff like that, and I think at some point, like you just have to take a look at what you do, and then if you see all these comments, you got to actually look at it and be like, hey, maybe I don't know as much as I think I do, and that's where a lot of these people need to have their mindset rather than just you also have that other side that I mean, there's one guy that's been tagging preferred flooring in a bunch of stuff. He'll tag preferred flooring in CFI and say, "Am I doing this right?" Knowing that like I would want to say that he knows he's not doing it right, but that's the way he does it, and he just doesn't care.
Well, it's they think those types of people to me think they're like being I don't know, they're like being outliers or rebels. You are part of the crowd, buddy. You are part of the
To,
95%. You're not part of the 5%. You're not part of the really, really good guys. You're not part of the the small percentage of people that it's almost embarrassing when you see that kind of stuff. Really, I feel embarrassed for people that do that because I'm like, dude, you not realize you're just acting like the whole crowd, the rest, the 95% of installers who are under educated from an installation perspective. I'm not making any claim on their regular education. Most installers I've ever met are incredibly intelligent. Um, I being one of them. Not maybe not on the intelligent part, but definitely on one as an installer. So it's not
bless
a
your
knock
heart.
on their
Bless your
actual
heart.
education, but on their installation education, on their
Yeah.
craft. Um, I've we've talked about this plenty of times on the podcast, but man, we used to be like revered in the skilled trades as one of the you know the harder uh, like the artisans kind of
Artisan,
coming
craftsman.
in. They're
I
coming
know,
in,
dude.
It's one of the reasons why I the top levels in the trade tap VTI is artisan and elite artisan. So
Yeah,
Romero
that's
says he's
one.
certifying, he's paying and for four guys to train to send them out as subs, right? And I think that's what like
dude,
we
you're
we
my hero.
we can't keep on gatekeeping and thinking that these people are gonna do it on their own, right? We've been on that side before too. When it was a distributor, approached us and was like, "Hey, we're having failures with this one product. Will you go get trained so that way we can start giving you some of this work?" And it's like, yeah, and it's we were fairly new at that point, and it's like I'm not gonna turn down free training.
Oh
Hmm.
yeah, yeah. And I don't. If anybody ever offers free training, even if it's on a weekend, a couple hour, just education class, take it. Um, it's just one of those things that what you say, Daniel, is another tool in the toolbox, right? It's one more piece of information that you can lean on, or you might have to lean on at some point in your career. Um,
You bringing up manufacturers is a great segue to like
that's all right, brother.
get into the industry from that aspect on the material delivery and you know workforce development. Like who owns that? Who should own that? Um, in I I'm going to venture to say, and you can check me on this. I'm not saying this as a fact, but I do believe that most of it is um, has to fall on the people making the product to make sure they have a trained industry to get their product put in. I don't know how flooring got away with it to just all these manufacturers doing that. So many of them just are like,
Yeah, and I've seen them step away from the certifications and call them training, right? Because people who are going through the certifications still have failures, and it's there's going to be people who use it to their advantage, right? And there's going to be people who take advantage of a certification. And taking advantage, in my eyes, taking advantage is becoming a blip on the radar so you can get specific type of work, but still cut corners and not do it the right way and put
And
your
that's why the
name.
manufacturers have been cutting back on that. And we've talked about it before, where we see it where people
Well,
use
they need
our
to
name on
team
stuff.
up though, right?
So
Sorry
yeah,
to
this is
interrupt you, but they got to team up
No,
with you guys at NASCT and CFI, and I know a little bit of that's happening, but get your trainings. If you want to call them trainings, fine. I'm not so against that, but team up with it so that it gets credentialed. So it's not like people don't want to just go to your training and it provide no value to them. They don't have anything they can leverage off of that. They go spend 4 or 5 days with you at your to go through your training, and they have nothing to leverage unless they're installing your particular product. Maybe, I mean, team up with TradeTap, get your trainings on the VTI, get them weighed so that the installer can get ranking out of it.
hmm
Team up with NAFCT so that your resilient products are properly trained on. Get to work with them to create the curriculum and put the best curriculum out there, and then help them fill their classes. Like those, void of the certification, you got to do something. And if you're a manufacturer watching this, you should be doing some of these things. Teaming up with CFI, teaming up with NASTT, teaming up with the high quality programs out there, and helping them create the curriculum needed to properly train people, and then helping them fill their course load.
yeah, it's a trickle effect. You're absolutely right. And the format you said too just reminded me when I was starting to look into like all these resonance coatings and these classes and all that. Every single one was like, come get certified, come do this, come. But it's for product that is specifically sold
specific. And
yeah,
that's
like
why it's
we have.
nice with these organizations, where it's not like we can get a handful of manufacturers that sell the same thing, and yeah, they might go down with different adhesive, and it's a different dry time, and or all that stuff, but it's all basically the same thing, which is why they should be wanting to partner with someone like this.
Mm-hmm.
Right, and
That
partnering
way
might
it's a broad training.
and partnering might not be like assuming responsibility of something that fails, right? Partnering might be just allowing recognition of your product and the training as a partnership, right? Like it does apply. That might
Mm-hmm.
be what it is, and that would be super helpful. Um,
Always said like the one of the things that launched the VTI was the fact that like a Forbo certification back in the day, that was great if you're installing Forbo. But what the VTI did is we recognize at TradeTap that the fact that you went through that training made you a better resilient installer,
oh
period.
yeah, brother.
Period. Like it didn't just apply to Forbo. A lot of the tools and techniques, even Nora's certification, you are a better installer over all products just for going through that course
Yep.
and taking that training and getting that certification. So that was why the VTI came along, is because of the lack of certifications, and in the tile world, at least you can get an online certification, for example, and those types of deals obviously don't really equate to having the hand skills needed to do the thing. You got knowledge and you got hand skills, and you got to form both of those in unison.
Right. There's value in both of those.
Absolutely. And one will get ahead of the other. If you've ever went to some education through this, you recognize you learned something, and then you got to go kind of apply it to get your hand skills caught up with your new knowledge, or
Yep.
you get the hand skills above your knowledge base, and you can almost do anything with your hands, but you don't have the knowledge that's needed for the specific applications. And
Right.
both of
Um,
those kind of teeter totter up that way.
And I do want to add to for the installers out there that are afraid, like they have the hand skills and they feel like their knowledge base is minimal. Sometimes it isn't that your knowledge base isn't there. It's just the terminology isn't there. And taking some of these classes and getting educated and sitting in a room with your peers and being more comfortable talking terminology, you'll actually find out that your knowledge base is a lot higher than you thought it was. It was just you just might not be referring to the product or the system in the manner in which the industry does. That's all.
And like Jose says here, being certified is great, but the networking that comes with it's even better. That's a perfect application for that, right? Like you get to um, leverage other people's knowledge. Um, I remember my uncle. He would say that a wise man or a smart man learns from his own mistakes. A wise man learns from others.
Dude, there's
Because of the
even with like we did NFIC, right? And anytime I'm like doing something, I still have the book and I'm still going through it. And then I'm
Yeah.
if I don't understand 100% of something, I'm like I'm gonna give Huddle a call, and then I call him, and he's like, I do the same thing. I have the book with me all the time too, like just in
Mhm.
case. And then I call Don Perkins because I know he'll pick up the phone right away.
And today I
Yeah,
sat
and
on a
you
webinar for FCICA and I had a question that didn't get asked. So I just texted Jason because he was the host today. He was the one presenting. I went and looked at a project that they totally killed their VCT. And I asked him, like, this is how many square feet it is. This is approximately how old the concrete is or the building is. And this is what's going on. Once removal is done, what would be the next steps, right? The proper next steps. What would you do? And he was like, this is what, and he gave me a couple things to do. And I was like, you know what? I wouldn't even have thought about that specific thing. Um,
mhm.
but that's the network. And he helped me view it from a different lens, which in turn educates you, helps you, makes you a little bit smarter.
Yeah, and
Yeah,
if you want to network next month, go and hit it up with Rollin and Rod Von Bush over at Fishman Flooring Solutions. That certification is starts on the 17th.
Two very smart individuals right there and very, very easy to talk to. Rod
Fishman
might look a
Flooring
little
in Kentucky.
Rod might look a little sour
Yep.
sometimes, but he's approachable, I promise.
Rod's a great guy, and everybody knows that Rollin is a great information sharing kind of individual. He'll
Oh yeah,
he'll
100.
share a ray. So go out and hang out with those guys and learn something. If you're in Kentucky, again, that's at Fishman Flooring. It's in Louisville, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, go check them out. Rollin, if you have like a flyer or something, post it in the chat. Let's get it up on board. So when we're talking about is it too comfortable? I think we've been too comfortable for many, many years, and I think the skilled trades in general have been too comfortable. I think that everybody felt the like it was coming and things are happening, but I looked at a stat that when you talk about the average installer age being now 56, do you know what it takes to for that to increase 3 years? That means you're not bringing in any youth, and your older people are just your core group is just getting older. Now it took 5 years for it to gain three because you are getting some new younger guys, but not enough to offset. That number should be coming
Right.
down. That number is going up. As that continues to go up, it's because we need to continue to bring in the youth and hire the newly trained guys. So be on the look for Jumpstart. You guys are going to
Right.
love that product. That's
And
going to be
maybe
a great resource.
and maybe not even just the youth, right? Like if you get someone who, say, someone who's 35, right? They 35 years old and they're driven. They've tried a few things. They haven't found their place yet, and they're willing to get their hands dirty and work and learn. Someone who's 35 in 5 years can be a great installer in a couple disciplines, right? Like it's not that hard to be good at what we do, but it is hard to stay motivated and to apply yourself to want to be better. And that's where the comfort thing, and I'm going to get back on the topic here with that, is um, too comfortable as far as the manufacturers not putting out the information and making it required of people to continue their education as an industry, right? They're too comfortable selling everything they can, changing the product to make it more DIY friendly, and then also the lack of requirements by a sales team, sales staff, or an installer to install their product. So we're, as an industry, pretty comfortable with allowing people to fail.
I
And
think, yeah, we're comfortable with like, oh, there's a warm body, let's put them out there, as opposed
right,
to like, having some workforce development initiative. I love the comments coming through. Romero says, if anybody's interested in CTI, so CTI certification, they also have trainings. They have CTEF has a lot of different programs, but this is by CTEF, the Ceramic Tile Education Foundation. Sounds like there's a training, a CTI certification, I'm assuming, that will happen at the Ardex compound there in Mansfield, Texas on August 20th. So right around the corner, folks, if you're a tile guy and you want to get like a good certification, CTEF and the CTI certification is highly revered in the industry. So comfort also indicates that we are doing well. So that the topic's a little bit, it's easy to get comfortable when things are going well. It's hard to be comfortable. I think dealers, I think there's a lot of retailers and dealers who are complacent but not comfortable. You know what I
yeah,
mean? Like
I
they're just
do, I do.
complacent. They're just not doing a lot about it. They are fearful of change, and the programs that are out there, or the softwares that are out there, or the outlets that are out there for them to participate in, I believe they are fearful and complacent, more than just comfortable. I think a lot
Well,
of them are not comfortable, actually.
the mindset, right? If it isn't broke, don't try to fix it,
Look at
right?
these trainings coming up.
Boom.
Go
Um,
ahead. Sorry, Jose.
no, you're fine. The mindset about it, like if it isn't broke, don't try to fix it. But just because the machine keeps moving and working doesn't mean that it's not broken or going to break eventually, right? You still need to maintain that. You need to freshen up that car, give it an oil change. Sometimes you got to get down and dirty, scrub the rims, right? Somebody wants to come and look at it. If you ever want to give it away, how are you handing it off? There's a lot of different ways to look at it, and I think that that's where the industry is. We're driving a hoopty right now that's working, right? That's working, but and it still gets us from point A to point B and sometimes beyond. But at some point, that hoopty has got to be upgraded.
Without the
And
maintenance that you're talking about, and without the attention and the concerted effort to make a change, I've met with a lot of people, and I'm telling you, the appetite to just stay with the status quo is still there. I mean, I don't know how painful it has to get, or if the tsunami has to hit the shore before you take cover. But I I talk to a lot of people in the industry, and the complacency is just nauseating. How willing they are to just stick with the current way until it completely breaks, as opposed to say being having any forethought or any foresight into saying, we know this is going to happen. Like the age itself is telling us it's not getting better, it's getting worse. And the then you take all of the installers and count uh, the percentage that is effectively trained and can do the craft to the industry standard. And I mean, I don't know what the numbers look like, but it's not good, right? It's not good that so few of what we call installers are not actively educated. And many of the people that watch this show, agree with us. But how we reach the masses is by you guys sharing the show in your groups, in your Facebook groups, and sharing the show across your social media campaigns, because the word has to get out there. It has to continue. It has to grow beyond what the huddle is. And our reach is limited by your shares, by your participation. So share the show. Don't I've got a guy that I used to be in, he used to be a mentor of mine, and he has a show, uh Andy Frisella, and his saying is, don't be a hoe, share the show.
The faux show.
So here's some new, what was that one, Daniel?
That was the NASCT. Here, I can just.
There you go. Another 3-day certification event in Calhoun, Georgia.
And
That's
that's
going to
next
be
year,
at
right?
the
Yep.
at a state of the art training facility, by the way. Um, so get your resilient modular installation certification. Go claim it on your VTI and let us know you took it. Um, Actually, that'll be ran most likely across their training hub, and it'll be automatic anyway. So go sign up. Send me that flyer too, Daniel. Email that to me. Um, but guys, let's 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 go improve the industry together as a group. Let's say that the huddle did something, and the huddle was put here to help people understand, just three guys talking about industry problems, and you guys joining us. And it's been an honor to sit
For
here
sure.
Tuesday and talk to you guys and have your comments come across. And the more you share the show in your group chats and your group social medias, your group, your Facebook groups and such, the better, more reach we're going to get. And hopefully some of the crews out there that know they need to improve will hear just that message just at the right time and cause them to go get educated.
Brother, believe it or not,
I just.
we need to improve our crews. Like we've been we are in a position right now to where we need to improve our crews here too, because like we don't ever get a break, right? Like we try to do too much for too long and we don't ever get a break, and we need to find that time to do so too. So just so everyone knows, it's not like everyone, there's perfect companies out there, but we still have a lot of room for improvement, and we still have to improve our crews as well.
We all do, man. But
Yeah,
we, at least we're brave enough to say it, and we're not scared to take some action to do it, you
So I
know?
just realized that they had the wrong one linked. I clicked all the way through, and that one had the wrong dates on it. So I got a different one.
hey, once you get your AI tools together, I'm interested. I'd
Yeah,
like to see
baby.
what you got.
Well, speaking of too comfortable, I think that it's a good time to call out the the ones that are not too comfortable, that seem to be trying to make a little splash, trying to improve the industry one step at a time, and that's the training entities, the CFIs, the NASCTs. The SCEF is in college programs. We're hoping
Hmm.
to continue our relationship with them, and help those new college kids. Uh, I say college kids, not always, but the new recruits into the industry get placed, and people like Romero and Jorge and Jose and Jesus hiring these kids, or hiring these new recruits. I keep saying kids, but I am 50, so I get to say that to just about anybody anymore, except Rollin and Rod Von Bush. I still got you guys. So, um, but the whole purpose of them, all the time and effort that, well, Rollin and hey, these guys put into the industry. Shout out to the people who are trying to make a difference and not just complaining. Shout out to you guys. Shout out to to Romero for working with the NTCA and working to get that education in Spanish. That is all very, very like innovative and risk taking. I mean, you're risking your time and your effort
Hmm.
for the use of others and the help of others. So kudos to all the people out there
And then
working to try to
let me
improve.
add I'm going to
There's
interrupt
a lot
this
of
guy right here. I'm going to interrupt you with a shout out to you, brother, because of how much effort, time, and money, blood, sweat, and tears in your career you're putting in to try to make the industry better as a whole, right? Like all these other entities you just mentioned, they're all great on their platform, but there's an individual trying to bring everybody together to share a platform and to be in the spotlight. And I appreciate everything that you've done and that you are doing because I know you worked very hard on it. Thank you. Thank you, Paul.
Thanks, brother. I appreciate that a lot, man. You don't know. I really do appreciate
I
that.
I do know, brother. I do know.
Well, I mean, you
I
don't know
hear
how much
you.
it
I
means to
hear
me
you. I
more
see you, and
of
you
what I'm
love it,
saying.
and you absolutely love it, right? And the stressful times, like, and you still come back for more.
We're stuck in the industry, guys, so we don't have a choice. So we just got to help Paul out and get all these installers together, so that way they can keep on moving
Well,
up
let's
and
form
not just staying stagnant.
form together, guys. We've opened up our ambassador program just to tell you we have, if you want to be an ambassador for TradeTap and get the message out on your social campaigns, just say it right here, and I'll get you set up with a meeting, and we'll get you set up as an ambassador. We got some great ambassadors coming on board. Some of them are on this podcast. Some of them are commenting on this podcast. We need tile guys, Jorge and Romero, and you guys. We need some tile ambassadors. So the applications are open. You can go to trade-tap.com and click on the ambassadors about, and you can sign up right there or just reach out to me, Paul at trade-tap.com, and tell me you want to be an ambassador, and I will hook you up. Romero says all of you deserve a lot of respect. A lot of respect. I try to be here every week because I see what y'all are doing, and I thank y'all for that. Thank you, Romero, man. You're
Thank you,
you're
brother.
a great guy, and I appreciate all the comments and interactions that you have with us here on the Huddle. What you guys do on the Huddle is, it's impactful. It's continuing to be impactful. So I will reach out to you, Romero. I assume send me an email if you would. I'll type it in here. I wonder if this would go in if I just type my. I don't know. I haven't done this before, but let's see if it works. Shoot me.
Oh,
There's my email. Um, Shoot me an email, and if you want to be an ambassador for TradeTap, let me know. Again, we are actively seeking out good installers who love the trade and can be ambassadors for training, ambassadors for uh, credentialing. And, I've always said I like competing against installers and companies who are good. I don't like competing with installers or companies who don't know their value. I'd much rather compete with a highly trained guy than somebody who's not. So, yeah, if you're that type of person, shoot me an email and let's get you signed up to be an ambassador. We'll send you some cool swag. Get your VTI installer badge with your picture and a QR code linking to your profile, and you can leverage that to go get more meaningful, higher paying projects. Set yourself apart from the guys who are not doing anything about their career. So, all right. We
yeah, I
just
guess
went
about that
from is
time,
the
man.
industry too comfortable to getting after it.
There you go. Hey,
I was
a
looking
term.
for a
There you go.
logo to put on there, but I
A
couldn't find
term.
one, so I just pop it up.
A term
That'll
that I
work.
heard. What's that guy's name that was doing like those shows where he was going and working? Was it Mike Rowe, right, or something like
Yeah,
that?
Mike Rowe.
Yeah, so I was watching something he was talking on the other day. And he said something that stuck with me. MILF, right? That we have an influx of MILFs not in labor force. They don't want to be hands on. So don't be don't surround yourself with them. You ain't gonna get anything fixed around your house. I tell you what.
And that's the thing. Someone, I mean, Romero was the one that mentioned AI and stuff, right? And with this influx of people to the workforce that are losing their jobs because of AI, they're going to have to find something to do. And we're kind of at that point where
Yeah.
the
Well,
we're
it
at that
happened.
entry where we don't need to be certified and all this stuff. So there should be an influx of people who are going to claim that they know how to do flooring here pretty soon.
Well, it happened in a few different times in our industry, but COVID caused that too. I remember having guys come into our office and say they were tile installers. You kind of chat with them and get to know them, and come to find out they've worked at a major Boeing subcontractor at a machine shop for the last 15 years, but they installed before that. So, like,
I installed one time with my uncle in 1994, so
that
I
is
know
who
what I'm
you're
doing.
gonna that is who you're gonna compete with and if you don't have a clear way to separate yourself. um, and we got a video coming out, and I love the line that's in the video that void of proof, price is the only thing that matters, right? So without the consumer, whoever you're selling to, without them having proof that you are more qualified or worth the value, well then how did they choose price, right? Like if you tell somebody, hey, go, I want to buy a car, you don't specify nothing, and then they say, I'll sell you a car for 13,000, and this other guy says, I'll sell it to you for 12, but you have no idea what kind of car you're going to get from either one of them. Like, you got to know the information about the skill and capability for price to become the secondary option, because if all of a sudden you found out it's a vintage, GTO for 13, and it's a Subaru, you know,
Subaru.
broke down Subaru Outback for 12, you might make a different decision.
Right. Rollins says that part of the problem in the industry is because there have been so many years without training. Installers that are teaching our installers right now think they're doing it right because it's the way that they were taught.
Hmm.
And they
Yeah,
just don't know the right way to do things. So he was with a young installer that's how he was because that's how he was taught. So he didn't know that he was doing things the wrong way until you start going to training. And now, that opens people's eyes. So if you've never been to a training, all you got to do is attend one and attend it with an open mind. Like,
Yeah.
brother, they can change the spec on us tonight, and tomorrow we're doing it the wrong way.
Hmm.
You
Yeah,
know what I
staying
mean?
and that's where all the networking happens. It helps you to stay up to date. Like, you guys know the value of a manufacturer looking at you as the experts in the industry, right? When new stuff comes out, you're more likely to be involved and be informed. You just plugged in, and so many installers are not plugged in. And what Roland just said harkens back to earlier conversation in the podcast. We were talking about a couple generations being skipped. Well, that is true. Like, a couple, overall, not that nobody got trained, but obviously, uh, what that it, what that creates is then people not learning the craft correctly, and then passing on their shortfalls as knowledge. Um, it's kind of like saying you're expert in physics and then using Google as your only source of information.
I'm an expert in physics. Watch, I won't spill the water in the bucket. Just
Yeah, did you know Galaxy X is 460,000 light years away? Because you Googled it, but you're not a real expert in physics. You're not a physics. you're not a physicist. You're just a simple person using Google, right? So getting plugged in, truly plugged in, and becoming an expert is about education, training, and certifications.
Yeah. Google gives you a little bit of information, right? But until you involve yourself and you surround yourself and you are committed in whatever discipline you're trying to educate yourself, you won't know. You'll just
Well, you don't know when you're being fed BS or not,
right.
right? Google lies all the time. Sorry. Gives
Whoever pays the most,
misinformation. Maybe not lies is the right word. Don't go suing me, Google. I don't mean that. I mean, part of it's the way you ask the question. If you don't even know how to ask the question correctly, you can get bad information.
yeah, there you
Like
go. Yeah,
comes from having trusted source information from a entity that knows like the NAFCT or CFI, and then you have good source information because they're plugged in with the manufacturers needs to increase, as I said earlier, but plugged in with the manufacturers to stay up to date. A lot of times you don't even ask the right question. That's why AI is not the solution for everything. Is because we don't even, if you don't have a base knowledge to even ask the correct question correctly, you're going to get bad information back.
it's going to find whatever information is suitable for your question, right? Not necessarily specific to your conditions, your product,
Well,
but
you're saying got to ask the right questions, right? And that's why even AI, they say to stop prompting. Like sometimes just you have to end that chat, but now they have the feature where you can go and edit your prompt instead of prompting again because it's not about what you keep on going. It's about that original question. You gotta.
brother, I get in arguments with Chad. But dude, that's not even what I asked, man. That's not even what I asked. I ain't going to talk to you till tomorrow.
Well, that's called AI hallucination. Right now, AI just wants to please the human using it, and so it's going to give you an answer void of truth, source of truth documentation. It just finds whatever it finds. Same kind of uh, can be garbage on the internet. It will pose it as truth, you know. So just got to be careful, and you got to have some baseline of education around it. So Rollins turning in. He
Uh,
says he's got to go to dinner. He just turned 173.
Happy
I know he
birthday,
said he's
brother.
gonna be in Michigan next week too, so he's gonna have to get a hold of us when he's in town.
Hopefully he has time.
All right, Rollin, enjoy dinner, and the rest of you guys, we have come to the end of the podcast. Thanks for all the great comments. Again, if you're
Yeah,
interested in being an ambassador for TradeTap and specifically the VTI portion of the TradeTap, give me either shoot me an email or become a leader in the trades, and let's do this together as a group, guys. We can change this industry. Join forces, an applied group. You have the power behind community is huge, and we have a great community being built in Trade Tap in the Huddle, and we are inviting you to be part of that. So yeah, join us. Again, thank you everybody for the comments. I'm asking for you to go, as Andy Frisella would say, don't be a hoe, share the show. So
Don't be
go
a
ahead,
hoe. Share the show.
share. I don't want to. I don't want no trademark infringements, Andy. Um, I was part of his original. It was called Arate. So I was the very first group of Arate members of his Arate syndicate. And so anyway, Andy, I hope that gives me a little bit of right to steal that verse for one episode. That being said, guys, please do share the show. Go into your Facebook groups and share it there. Let people know there's a resource where they can get on, voice their opinions, voice their concerns, questions. We'll give you a platform to ask, and we'll do our very best to answer. And we don't know everything, so we sometimes have to plug into other people, and because we are involved in the industry, we have a lot of different resources there. So if we don't know, we'll tell you, and we'll also go find out for you. So join us in this great venture we're on, and we're looking forward to working with each one of you. And I love doing this. I love the huddle. I love you too, and I really do enjoy every Tuesday getting on here. So, Mark says we are training the industry and look for Jumpstart. Yeah, Jumpstart's going to give you the opportunity as an individual for $99 a year. You can hire as many of these jump starters as you want. That's unprecedented. Like, go try to get Monster or Indeed to give you a deal like that, and they'll have full profiles of their education, everything we know about them. At that point, you'll know about them, and you can interview and hire them right there on Jumpstart. So,
Boom.
all that being said, thank you guys for joining us today. You know,
He throws the rocks.
if you're in, I know that I think Mark's going to be, Rollins going to be up in that area. Go check in it. Go check out the new place. I need to get up your guys' new digs and
We got to
check
get
out the
back
new
out to you
office.
at some point too.
Yeah, dude.
It's always fun. Well, and don't forget, we got synergy coming up with CFI and
November.
FCICA. Sorry, all the acronyms. FCICA and CFI, the synergy conference is coming up. So keep an eye out for all the social posting around that. We would love to meet some of you guys out there. With that, I'm going to sign off for this week, and we'll see you guys next week.
Thank you,
All right.
everyone.
See ya.